Hi, and welcome back to All Scale Slot Cars. I'm Dennis, and we're at episode 4 now of the Aurora AFX Heart of a Slot Car Collection series. If you've missed the first 3 episodes, I highly suggest you go back and check them out and catch up on what we're trying to accomplish here. What I really want to do is do these cars justice because I've loved them my entire life, and my goal is to make you love them too, and I think you'll fall in love with them once you get the gist of what they are and how beautiful they are and how many different variations. As you know, if you followed along, you'll know AFX has made at least 90 different molds in Aurora AFX, and within those 90, there were like 460, I think, different liveries or colors of cars. And with all that, there were over 1,000 individual minor little detail variations, and that's why we're here, is to go over all those variations, catch you up to speed on all that, and you can decide, do you want one, or do you want all, or do you want somewhere in between? Pick out the ones you really love and add them to your collection and keep them alive, because they are beautiful and there's such a history with these cars, and they are a lifetime of joy for me, and I want to share them with you, and I want to do them right. So we're going to start here with the Dodge Magnums, and the Dodge Magnum stock car was made from 1979 to 1983, a little bit later in the series, to the very end actually, and it was a 1959 in Magna traction. And this number 8, this beautiful Magnum number 8 in turquoise with the white and light blue, is such a beautiful representation of a Dodge Magnum. Love these cars. And then we get to the number 8 in butterscotch with the red and black. And this was a 1073 in Magnasonic, part number 1073. Just loved the Magnums. Beautiful cars. And another Magnum, this number 14 with the red, white, yellow, and orange, was a Speed Steer, part number 6205 in Speed Steer. And I love that. A little beat up a little bit, but that's from my racing back in the 70s. And I enjoyed it, or maybe it was early 80s. And I enjoyed the heck out of this car. It somehow survived, not in too bad a shape. So it could have been worse. So those are the Magnums. There's one more Magnum. It was a number 14. It was white, blue, red, and orange. Part number 2805 in Super G Plus, and that one is very rare, very rare to find. So if you do come across that, grab that one up if it's even around anymore. And those are the Magnums. Now let's clear these off a little bit here, and so we can get to the Plymouth Roadrunners, the so-called Richard Petty cars, the unofficial Richard Petty cars. And these were made from 1972 to 1979 in 1904 Magna traction. And this was the 43, the yellow with the black numbers. And if you see across here, any of the solid Roadrunners, solid, have this 43 is pretty straight across the roof. If it's a two-tone car, it has like a I'll just bring it out here. The roof number is at an angle. So, but that's, I don't think that's a variation at all. It's just a difference in the solid and the two-tone cars. Somehow, some reason they made the numbers like that on the roof differently. And let's get a Johnny Lightning or Auto World car up here. As you can tell, the newer, these are newer cars, and they've had like 50 years to upgrade their printing and everything and the technology on these cars. So there'll be more detail on an Auto World car than the original Aurora AFX cars. And so it'll be pretty easy to spot a newer one by those details. And the ones I'm going to tell you about are the only ones in existence for the Roadrunners from Aurora AFX. So now we get to this number 43 in turquoise with the white numbers. And this was 1762 in AFX. And this also came in a more blue. The blue can be different colors, different shades with the white numbers. And they were 1762 in the original Aurora AFX chassis. And they also came a lighter blue than that. So there's different shade variations in that 43. And also, if you could tell over here, the Aurora AFX cars, the 4 is a solid block 4 where you can see the color in that little inside the 4 there. So that's another tip. But hey, Auto World is doing a great job. I highly recommend them as well. So don't shy away from Auto World. They're doing great. And it's great that they're keeping the memories and traditions alive with these cars. All right, so now we get to the number 43, the red with the blue top and the blue nose with the white numbers. And you see the angled roof number on there. And this one is a favorite of my friend's. He had the market on all these. I knew whenever we saw one in the store, he had dibs on these, and I had no problem, that he can have these. I had my own that you'll see later on in the series on the ones I had that he laid off of, and we had no quarrels about that. We just knew and we respected that, and that was fine. So I collected these later on in life afterwards. It was difficult to actually bring one into my collection because these were his, but I said, I need to have these in my collection. They deserve a spot. He's got his still, I believe, so he's fine. And there's enough of these to go around, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because there's enough of these to go around. You can find these. If you look long enough, you'll find them, and you can satisfy your collection, your need for whichever one you need. And here we go with the number 43, and it's yellow with the orange top and the orange nose and the black numbers. Another different variation of the petty cars. And here's also, this one was my friend's all-time #1 car. This white with the blue top and blue nose and the silver numbers. This was his captain. Like you'll see, I've already shown you in past videos who my captain was. This was my friend's captain. So I feel terrible that I have this, but hey, that's how it goes. It's not the actual car. He's still got his actual car probably. And so this is just another reproduction of that car. And so that's, that's that. All right. And then we get to this 43 with blue with the red top and the red nose and the white numbers. And this also came with the blue nose and white numbers, and it had within that blue nose, it had red. They call them demon eyes or devil eyes. They had the blue nose with the red highlight, and it looks pretty mean, and with those accents in there. And that was a 1062 Magnasonic car, and another beautiful petty car. All right, and then we get to something a little different. We get to the number 30 Plymouth Roadrunner. Yes, this is still a Roadrunner, but a much different design. And this had the blue sides, the light blue, and has a chrome nose and dark windshield. And it was a 1062 Magnasonic. And Auto World produced one very, very similar to this. Very similar. It's hard to tell. Of course, you can always tell looking on the insides of the bodies, the numbers stamped in there. But the Auto World, if you look at it side by side with it, with this, you see there's a slight slant in this AFX version of this 30 on the side door. It slightly slants downward. The Auto World goes straight across. The 30 will go straight across. And that's a little tip to the variable of the Auto World. Great that they did that. If you can't find one of these, it's great. You could pick up one of the Auto Worlds, although they're probably the same price now. So we're very similar. So if you really want AFX, just hang in there and you should find that. Then there's the number 30 with the yellow with the orange sides and the orange roof number. And this was a 1062 Magnasonic. Very beautiful car, very different from the rest are these two. And they also made another one, a different variation of this, where you see this is kind of outlined in brown, that orange number outlined in brown. Well, the whole number on the roof there is brown. And that's a different variation of this car. And so that's something to look for too. And that's a little bit more difficult to find. And there's also the most difficult to find of all of them, and it's a 43, and it's all red, and which it would have the number going straight across, the 43. They're all white numbers, but instead of the two-tone red and blue, it would be all red. And those are difficult to find. When you find them, they're very expensive, and the ones I've seen are beat up. They'll have, their A-posts are split, broken, missing, a lot of damage, numbers worn off, worn down, half painted over, a lot of damage to that. So if you find one in great condition, scoop it up, and that'll be it. And thank you so much for joining me. This was episode 4 in the series of Aurora AFX, the Heart of a Slot Car Collection. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.